Hi there, Dr. Brent Hulsebus coming at you with another why is this still a thing? Why is this still a thing? These are the questions I ask when I go through the literature and I read the literature and I read the research and I see that it's from great sources and we know this probably correct, but yet we don't practice this way. And so I'm always questioning, why is this still a thing? Like, why are we still doing this? And I want to talk about the thing that a lot of us refuse to do, and some of us can't believe people refuse to do it. And I think there's a time when I understand why people did it, but now I don't know why we do it. And this is probably going to get me in trouble on Facebook and other sources. We're going to talk about masking, why people cover their mouth up with the mask. Now, I'll be the first to admit, when COVID first came out, nobody really knew what to do. It was brand new to everybody. Like everybody was brand new. Nobody knew what to do with it. So when it first came out, nobody knew how to respond to it. So we had to go back to what we did know. And what we did know at the time is we believed at that time that masking was going to help. And so we told everyone to put a mask on. And I believe our elected officials were doing the best they could with the limited amount of knowledge and science that was available at the time to make decisions. And so that is justifiable in my opinion. When you don't know what to do, you do what you do know how to do, and you hope it applies to what you don't know. But what came out here recently is the Cochrane database of systematic reviews from January 30th of 2023. So this is less than 30 days old as I'm recording this. And what they did is they called it the physical intervention of interruption or reduced spread of respiratory viruses. So let me say this in English. First, who's the Cochrane database? The Cochrane database is a group of scholars, teachers, professors, doctors, smart people, and they're from all over the world. It's not from 8 countries, from all over the world. They get together, they look at the review of the information, they look at the review of the research and the science, and then with that knowledge and with that ability to look at that stuff, they write a report of what they think is true or what they've learned is true, and then they share it with the world, government officials and stuff like that. And so this one's really interesting because they were curious. Hey, over the last couple of years, there was a lot of effort done to contain the spread of COVID. And how did those systems work? How well did those actually come out to work in the end? And so what they looked at was they looked at hand washing, wiping surfaces down after being used, plastic shields, and of course masking. And they didn't just look at COVID. They also looked at COVID-19, right? They looked at SARS. SARS, remember, is the severe acute respiratory syndrome. And they looked at H1N1 and different types of flus, acute respiratory infections. They looked at all of them. And they said, okay, we did all this for a long time. How did it work? And they found out that the wiping things down, putting shields up, and masking had no real benefit of stopping the spread of COVID. So it turns out that there was no real benefit of doing all that. And they did find out, though, that washing your hands between interactions with people and trying to keep your hands clean, there was about 11% effect of reducing the spread of stuff. So to me, they said they found no real measurable differences in gowns, gloves, face shields, or screening at entry points. They said that hand washing and hand sanitizer should be a beneficial about 11% at a positive rate. And that was probably the main thing, but not enough to have a significant difference. So they basically said this thing was going to do what it was going to do. And again, when it first came out, nobody knew what to do. Everybody knew that we should do something. So they did what they knew how to do. It's interesting to me to go back and read the research and find out more about it. Now that we know, and the Cochrane report comes out, and again, great source, government sent policies by Cochrane reports and stuff like that. I guess my question is, why is this still a thing? Now we know it doesn't work, it doesn't help. Why are we still threatening? Certain government agencies are threatening to have people go back in masking, put the kids back in masks and stuff like that. So I fall back on what's the point. And they did find there was some benefit of using an N95 mask or a P2 mask, but it was the usage of it. Basically, you'd almost have to change it before every interaction with different people. They're very, very short term, and it'd just be impractical to have people carry around a backpack of mask and change it every time you talk to somebody. So again, as a chiropractor, I always ask, why is it still a thing? More and more data is coming out. It has to do with the resistance of the host. What was going on, what were the cofactors, comorbidities that caused the real problems with COVID. Why some people caught it, like myself, never even knew I had it. Other people caught it and they had grave consequences, and that's awful. But what were those things? That's the kind of things we need to research, continue to look at, and stop wasting our time about other things. So Yeah, there you go. After reading the research, my question is, why is this still a thing? Thank you.